iTrain Asia, who's supporting transformation of digital technologies in Asia, is one of the pioneers and leaders in tech learning. And at iTrain, we believe in two core principles: that the power of technology to shape the future and help us build a better world, and that love of learning is the source of human ingenuity and well-being. And our goal, which is backed by government and academia, is to fast-track Asian businesses with the latest technology applications and know-how. So some of you who have joined already hold the certification of iTrain's one of our classes. So we provide certifications in mobile development, blockchain, data science, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, fintech, digital marketing, and so on. So as an iTrain Asia graduate, you are able to claim a digital badge and to show and share this digital badge on your social media pages. And yes, and Laura will be telling later on more about how you can take advantage of this and how such digital badges look for other businesses and potential employers. And as you can see, these are some of our clients that iTrain Asia has helped to empower their businesses across many strategic sectors, and they're the companies which are in finance, technology, industry, and manufacturing. Yes, and this webinar is also a brief introduction to a webinar that is a workshop that is upcoming in January, and Laura will mention about that more. And I will share the correct link in the comments section on both Facebook and also in chat section here on Zoom. So if there are no more questions, as at the moment I don't see any more questions, then I will give the floor to Laura. And yes, thank you, Laura, for joining us today. And yes, I will stop sharing my screen.
All right. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? If
yes,
you can hear me, could you just type in yes in the chat section right now? For those of you who are here. Okay, Tyler can hear me. Aini can hear me. How about the rest of you? Can you all hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat section. Okay, Joshua says yes. Janice, yes. Gita, Elsa, great. Everyone can hear me. That's amazing. So again, I would like to wish you a very good afternoon. Thank you for coming and spend your afternoon to learn a new skill today. Today, we're going to talk about how you can build a personal brand on LinkedIn. And this session is brought to you by iTrain Asia. Thank you, Elizabeth, for putting this together, as well as our Stories Lab. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Give me a moment as I do that. Okay. Okay, can you all see my screen? Yes?
Yes, you can see. And
oh, we have someone from Venice, Italy. Hi. Hi, Elsa. I wonder what time is it over there? Okay, Elsa can see my screen. Elsa can see my screen. Amazing. Okay, so just coming back to our topic today. Yes, today we're going to speak about personal branding and LinkedIn. This is a topic that is very close to my heart. Is essentially what we do at our Stories Lab, right? I'm going to share a bit more about our Stories Lab later. But as a start, since it's my first time meeting all of you, could you just let me know in the chat section your name, what is your current profession, and what is one thing that you hope to learn from today's session? So I'm going to repeat that. Let me know your name, your profession, as well as what is one thing that you hope to learn from today's session. Let me know in the chat section right now. We're going to have just a quick chit chat so I can get to know you guys behind the screen. All right. So yeah, feel free to drop in your comments in the chat section. I would love to get to know and understand you guys a little bit better before I officially dive in. Anyone would like to start introducing themselves? You're more than welcome to do so right now. Just a simple one. Let me know what is your profession and what you hope to learn today. So Aini, a final year student. Wow. Great that you're already thinking about building your personal brand on LinkedIn. Great job, Aini. Elsa, you're an executive coach for international companies. I wish to learn how to review my profile so that it speaks of me and it stands stand out? Okay, that is something that we're going to talk about in today's session as well. So Elsa, I hope this would benefit you. And okay, Sami, Dr. Sami Hajat, I am an academic researcher. I would like to improve my academic and research profile. Wow, we have quite a different group of audience with very different profession. Love it. Okay, so for the rest of you, please feel free to continue letting me know about yourself. Okay, we have Geeta working as a sales executive, hoping to learn how I can write good descriptions in LinkedIn. All right. Okay, thank you so much for participating. The rest of you, please keep the comments going. We can always not just sit down here and learn, but we can also connect with each other at the end of this session. Okay, now I would like to just quickly start off with a quick introduction of our Stories Lab. So for most of you, I believe it's your first time hearing about our Stories Lab, and you might be wondering, who are we? Okay, so our Stories Lab, we are essentially, you can call us professional storytellers, whereby we help you to stand out online using the power of storytelling and social media. So whether you are a fresh graduate like Aini or a seasoned professional like Elsa, right? Or perhaps some of you here may be a business owner. Okay, our personal branding programs can help you to attract your potential client or career opportunity. To date, we have already empowered over 500 entrepreneurs, corporate employees, and job seekers in building successful personal brand on LinkedIn. And since our students have completed our programs, a lot of them have seen an increase in their business leads, and some of our students even managed to secure jobs even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so here on screen, you'll see an example of one of the training programs that we got to do before the CMCO came back. We really hope we get to do offline trainings again, but for now, it will be virtual. We have also been speaking on digital conferences, virtual digital conferences like this one that was championed by MDEC. So we were featured at this huge virtual fair. It's called the My Digital Maker Fair, where we had close to 20,000 participants from all over the world. So me, myself, and together with my partner Tyler, we were speaking on LinkedIn and personal branding, of course. So yeah, that is something that we do. We also have trained and spoke at these couple of brands that you see here on screen, different communities that we have trained and empowered. Tribe Camp Digital Campus is a digital school designed for event professionals. So Tyler and I, we stepped in to help train event professionals to upskill themselves, right? Because they are one of the most affected industries today. So what we did was we went in to teach them a new skill on how they can utilize LinkedIn to really upskill themselves in this time. We will also teach educators from Teach for Malaysia. Maybe some of you have heard of this NGO before. So we went in and spoke and conducted a workshop for the educators as well. We also taught students from Swinburne University, business owners from iCommunity, WorkHack, which was an international webinar that we did. And yeah, today we're super excited to be partnering with iTrain to be sharing with you guys. Okay, so here's a little bit about myself. My name is Laura Wong. I am a social media marketer and personal branding coach. So my background was actually in social media management, right? I started off as a social media freelancer, helping brands to create unique social media content so that they can stand out from their competition online and build a better relationship with their audience. These are some of the brands whom I've had the privilege to work with. Some of the brands you may or may not recognize, such as Taylor's University College, Ace Power Group, Sono Mattresses. Maybe you've seen their mattress ad targeting you on Facebook. Panda Lela Renong, Samsui. So I've worked with brands really from all across different industries, right? And since I worked on this for about a year, I started to realize that it was not just companies and brands that need help with storytelling. I realized that professional individuals like you and me, we also need help when it comes to telling our story online, because a lot of us here, I believe, are excellent workers, right? If you are attached to a company, you may be doing an excellent job offline, you may be the best performer in your company, but if you are not telling your story online, if you are not telling people about yourself, what makes you unique, right? Well, guess what? Nobody would know about you when you go online. And that is the danger if you do not have your own brand. You are forever attached to the company that you are with, right? So this was the need that we saw. And that was when I partnered with Tyler to launch our very first LinkedIn personal branding program back in April this year during the MCO. And since then, as I've mentioned, we have already empowered 500 individuals in their journey of building their personal brand. Since then, I've also been featured on a marketing magazine in Asia called Marketing in Asia. That's the name of the magazine. And the article that I was featured on is called the Top 70 Rising Personalities on LinkedIn Malaysia. You can Google this and check out later, not now, later. But yes, this is something that, I'm really honored to be featured on because my profile got selected out of the millions of profiles that we have here in LinkedIn Malaysia. So I'm really excited to be sharing my knowledge with you guys today, and I hope that you'll walk away with better clarity on how you can start building your personal brand on LinkedIn. Okay, so that is what I have for the intro. Now, I want to start off this session with a question for you guys. Do you know what a personal brand is? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat section right now. So does every one of you here know what a personal brand is? Let me know yes or no in the chat section. Elsa say yes. Geeta say not really. Okay, Sammy says a vague idea. So Elsa, you said yes. Maybe you want to explain briefly what a personal brand means to you?
May I unmute myself?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, personal brand speaks about you, what other people, the perception that the others have about you, about your personality, and yes, what they remember about you. So exactly as a consumer brand or other brands, this is what you remember about a person or a brand.
Yeah. Thank you, Elsa. You are absolutely right on this. A personal brand simply is the image and perception that others have about you, right? It is how people see you, how people remember you, and where does that perception and image come from? Well, it comes from the words that you say, right? The things that you talk about, or how you present yourself, either online or offline. All of this combined is what form your personal brand. And guess what? Each one of you here already have a personal brand, right? Whether you manage it or not, people will always have an image and a perception about you. Now, the question is, are you going to work on managing your personal brand? Now, we want to highly encourage that you start thinking about this, because when you have a strong personal brand of your own, this can help you to become unique, relevant, and different as compared to your peers. Okay, and why do you want to be unique, relevant, or different? It is simply because this will help you to achieve your career or business goal. Think about it. When you are a fresh graduate and you go for an interview, what is one of the most common questions that interviewer will ask you? It is, why should I choose you over the other candidate, right? They want to know what makes you different. Okay, think about it when it comes to your promotion as you are negotiating for increment or promotion with your boss, right? You could be telling your boss all the amazing things that you do and so forth, but at the end of the day, they may ask you this question: why should I choose you over your colleague or over your teammate? So that is something you need to know. And if you are a business owner, this is even more important for you, right? Because you can have a unique selling point for your business, but even you yourself as a business owner, you need to have your own unique selling point. Because at the end of the day, people work with people and they want to work with people that they like, right? So how do you create that likability? How do you create the impression that you want to live with others so that they will choose to work with you? Well, all of this comes from the power of personal branding. Okay, so I did not understand the power of personal branding until about a year and a half ago when I started my very first job with my very first client, and this is her, Pandalela Rinong. Does anyone here know who she is? Right, Pandalela Rinong is a national hero from Sarawak, Malaysia. So I'm not sure if we have anyone from Sarawak here, but she is our international diver. So she actually represents Malaysia for international sporting events like the Olympic Games, SEA Games, FINA Games, and so forth. Fun fact about Pandalela, she was actually the very first female athlete to have won an Olympic medal for our country, right? So she is a really big shot in Malaysia, and she happened to be my very first client. Okay, and at that point when I first started working as a freelancer, my thinking was that, oh, if I have a big client, I have an amazing portfolio, this is sufficient for me to get my next client, right? Because I have all this impressive portfolio to talk about. Okay, so what I was really thinking about when I work with her is that, oh, I just need to do a good job. And I'm pretty sure that her manager, who is Jolene standing on the far right, she would recommend me to my very next client. So that was a very naive thinking that I have in my very first job. So that was exactly what I did, right? I worked really hard for 1 month, hoping for my referral to come in. But 1 month later, there was no referral. Okay, so I thought to myself, 1 month maybe is too soon. Let me try that for 2 months. So I worked really hard, do a really great job with Pandalela and her boss for 2 months. But 2 months later, there was still no referral. Then I thought to myself, okay, I believe the 3rd month must be the charm, right? That's what they all say. So 3 months later, unfortunately, I still did not get any referral. Now, this was when I was forced to take a step back. I was like, hey, I'm doing a really excellent job. I know that I am because I can see the results on social media, right? I have this really big client in my portfolio, so I'm off to a good start. But why am I not getting my next client or any referrals? Okay, so after realizing that referrals is not the sustainable way to go, I started to think, okay, there must be something I can do online, right? I am a social media marketer after all. There must be something I can do on the digital space to find me my next client. So I did my research. I started to search online, hey, what is the best way to get my next client online? And this is what most digital marketing guru will tell you. Run Facebook ads, right? This is not this is not an uncommon advice. It's something that a lot of people recommend you to do. There are 2.7 billion users on Facebook. So if you run an ad, what are the chances that you will not get somebody? And that is a good strategy. I mean, it is something that works, right? It's tested and proven. But the problem with this strategy was I do not have money, right? I did not have the budget to run ads. If you have run Facebook ads before, you will know that it's not cheap. If you want to get sufficient leads, it is not cheap, right? So for a young freelancer like me who only worked like 3 months, I was thinking, oh, do I really want to spend my earnings onto ads, right? So this was not a strategy that was suitable for me at the start of my career building journey. So then I thought to myself, okay, if I don't want to do something that is paid, what can I do that is not so expensive, right? So this was where I came up with the other solution, which is to create organic content. And this is when I thought to myself, hey, if I could be creating content for Pandalela Reno, right? Creating a really fun, interesting content that can help her to better relate with her audience and grow her following. I can do it for myself too, right? I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. So creating organic content was the strategy that I was going to go. Now the question is, which platform do I start off with? You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn. So which one is the most suitable for someone like me? So after doing my research again, the platform that I decided to start building my personal brand on is on LinkedIn, of course. And I just want to pause here and ask a question to the audience. How many of you here already have a LinkedIn account? Type in yes in the chat section right now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Seems like quite a lot of you here have a LinkedIn account. That is great. Now, my second question to you. How many of you are active on LinkedIn? Okay, when I say active, I mean you are posting at least once a week, or you are at least using the platform every other day, right? So how many of you here are active on LinkedIn? Not much. Once in the blue moon. Okay, this is not surprising actually. There are many of you here say that you are not active on LinkedIn, and I believe one of the reason could be simply because you don't see the value in this platform. Yeah, you can tell me no time and all, but when you say you have no time for something, it is simply because you don't think this platform is important enough. And I get you. I get you, because most people are actually thinking that LinkedIn is still a job platform. You only use LinkedIn to find job, right? But here's the truth. LinkedIn is not just your resume, right? There is so much more value that LinkedIn can offer to you, especially for those of you who are looking to develop your career, right? When you build a personal brand on this platform, this is what LinkedIn can do for you. Number one, LinkedIn makes you more visible. Did you know there are about 675 million LinkedIn users globally, out of which 100 million are using this platform daily? In Malaysia alone, there are about 5 million users. That makes up 15% of our population. But I'm sharing this number not just to boast to you how many people are using. It is more of who are these people that are on this platform. That is what is more important. Well, these 100 million users, these are business owners, these are CEO, managers, right? Potential investor, partner. Well, I find my partner on LinkedIn, right? So that is something that could work for you. There are a lot of corporate employees like yourself, peers that are within your industry, right? So really, the type of people that are on LinkedIn can give you the visibility that is so much more impactful for your career as compared to on Facebook or Instagram, right? Just like how it worked for me. When I posted up this content back in February, I shared a story about how I started my first business, right? This content managed to garner close to 75,000 views on LinkedIn, something that would have not been possible on Facebook or Instagram for me, right? But on LinkedIn, it is possible. Okay, not only I managed to garner close to 75,000 views, but out of these views, a lot of them translated into business leads for me, right? The number of leads that I gotten from this post alone was much more than what I could have gained from relying on referrals alone. And then this is why visibility on this platform is so important, because it not just gave you visibility in terms of number, but it gets you visibility from the right people as well. So in your case, if you're not running a business, if you are an employee, if you are a job seeker, right? Job seekers, if you want visibility to recruiters, well, this is the platform, right? Employees, maybe you are not thinking of a switch now, but in the future, if you want to switch to a higher position or you want to get promoted, right? This is the kind of visibility that you can gain from LinkedIn. Okay, so that is reason number one. Reason number two, LinkedIn makes you more connected. LinkedIn is an excellent networking platform, right? And why it is such a great place for you to build a network is because everyone comes to LinkedIn for one single purpose. They are all here for business. They're all here for work, right? When people come into this platform, they already have a business-oriented mindset. Unlike Facebook and Instagram, when people hop on Facebook or people hop on Instagram, they are there for many other different reasons, right? Maybe they are there for cat memes, maybe they are there for food pictures or travel videos. Most of them are looking for updates from friends and family. But on LinkedIn is different. People don't go on LinkedIn to see updates from their friends or family, right? They are all here for business, all here for work. So that is why when you choose to build your brand on LinkedIn, right, this can help you open up a network of opportunities. You can get connected and build relationships with people that are beyond your offline network, right? I have seen the result of having a good network on LinkedIn on my business, because the moment I started building my personal brand on LinkedIn, I started to get messages like this, a lot of leads coming into my DMs directly. Just like this guy, Nelson, someone that I have not met before, right? But he just dropped me a DM out of nowhere, right? Seeking for my brand building services. There's also people like Fabio and May, right? Who also send me DMs, people that I have not met before in my physical space, but because they discovered me through LinkedIn, because LinkedIn connected us, now we can exchange messages, and now we can also be, now I can also be their client provider, servicing provider, right? Because out of the 3 messages that you see here, 2 of them actually became my client. Okay, so yes, connection on LinkedIn is really valuable. It can really bring in opportunities for your business and career. I also receive email from people who discovered me through LinkedIn, just like this guy Ernest, who dropped me a message and said, I found your profile through LinkedIn, right? This is the kind of connection and opportunities that, LinkedIn can open for you, because the platform is designed for one single purpose, is that everyone is here for work. Okay, so if this is something of your goal, I saw someone mention earlier, you want to expand your network and you want to build your connection list. Well, really consider LinkedIn to be the platform, because trust me, this is very beneficial for either your career or business. Reason number 3, LinkedIn makes you more trustable. How many of you here can agree that trust is a very important factor when it comes to your career? If you are running a business, trust is even more important, right? People will only work with you when they trust with you. A study has shown that about 70% of people will research about you online first before they choose to work with you, right? So your online profile matters, your online presence matter, because people are researching about you regardless of whether you have an online presence or not. People will still go and search about you. So instead of just leaving it as it is, why not you manage it, right? Manage it and make sure it looks good and it looks right. Okay, and that is really why personal branding is so important, because it especially on LinkedIn, because it gives you the opportunity to work on your online presence, right? In my case, after I work on my personal brand, after I built trust with my audience for a couple of months, I started to see results like this for myself. Number one, I saw a direct impact on my sales, right? My closing rate is so much more higher ever since I, built my personal brand on LinkedIn, until my sales was able to grow from 1 to 8 brands within less than a year. On top of that, I also saw a lot of collaboration and partnership. Remember this virtual conference that I talked about at the start of this webinar, the one that had 20,000 participants? Well, the opportunity and trust came from LinkedIn itself. Okay, and on top of that, I got recruited a lot, right? There were recruiters sending in messages and offers every single month, asking me to join their company. And the best part is I never actually mentioned I'm looking for a job. But because I was so focused on building my brand online, because I was so invested in sharing my stories and making sure my personal brand gives the right impression, these are the kind of opportunities and benefits you can gain from the power of personal branding. So at the end of the day, all of this is a result of having a solid personal branding strategy. Okay, so how many of you here would like to build a personal brand for yourself today? Let me know in the chat section right now. All of us, I guess. Thanks for answering on behalf of everyone. But I want to hear from you guys, right? Joshua says, I do. How about the rest of you? Geeta says, I do. Okay, Aini says, me. Elsa says, I do also. Great. So it seems like everyone here is motivated to learn about how you can build a personal brand. So I hope you have your notes with you, right? Please write down these 5 strategies on how you can start your personal brand on LinkedIn. Okay, hope you are ready. Let's go. Strategy number 1, in order to start your personal brand on LinkedIn, you need to find your unique edge. Okay, when it comes to personal branding, you really need to think, what is unique and special about your brand? What makes you different? What makes you stand out from your competition? The easiest way to find your edge is to start with your passion, right? This could be your career, right? Look into your current job. What are you currently doing? Is there something unique that you can share about your job that perhaps your peers or your colleagues can't share about, right? Like in my case, the way I started was, start to share knowledge about social media marketing to my audience. Okay, so I wrote content like this: organic versus paid marketing, which one is better? Probably one of the most common question when I get when it comes to Facebook marketing. So here I wrote a piece of content explaining to my audience, okay, if you want to start Facebook marketing, do you pay? Do you go organic? What should you do first? So here I explain the thought process that I have, right? And content like this really give people the assurance that, Laura knows what she's doing, right? She has quite a strategic thought process. Okay, I also wrote content like this, like why hire a social media manager when I can do it myself? Because there's a lot of misconception about social media manager that our job is very easy. But it is false, right? Our job is not just to go on Facebook, post random content, right? There is a lot of thought process, a lot of development effort and creativity process that goes behind the scene before the content even goes up on social media. So breaking myths about what you do, right? Calling out mistakes that people have about your career. It could be a content idea as well for yourself. Okay, and sharing things like this could make you a little bit different and more unique. Okay, instead of just sharing like typical things that everyone else is sharing. I think the question that you really want to ask yourself as you find your unique edge is, what can you add to the conversation that others can't? Right? Try to answer this question. Okay, what is there something, an experience that only you have, right? That you feel that, you know, if you share this out on LinkedIn, this can make you special. Okay, how to find the special things is really to look into your day-to-day job, draw from your personal experience, right? Was there an encounter with your client, an encounter with your boss, encounter with your colleague that you've went through that you feel could be a really great lesson that could be shared on LinkedIn? Or if it's not lesson, could it be an education point that you want to put out, right? All of these experiences are very personal to you, and you know, these are things that usually cannot be replicated by others, right? So you know, starting from this is a great start before you really figure out what is the edge that is unique to you. But most importantly, as you start your brand, really think about what is your unique edge. Okay, so that is strategy number one. Strategy number two, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, when was the last time you touched your profile? Was it when you were looking for a job? Right? I believe some of you would agree with me on this, but don't have to feel guilty about it. That was me when I first started on LinkedIn as well. I only updated it when I needed a job. But yeah, that was because I didn't know what LinkedIn could do for me, right? But now that I know, you know, LinkedIn can do so many things for me, it's really important to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Okay, it's really time to stop thinking of it as your resume. Again, think of it as your website. What kind of first impression do you want to leave with your audience? Do you want to leave your audience with? Right? What kind of actions do you want them to take after they land on your profile? Right? So a good start would be make sure to update your profile picture. Use a professional picture. If you're using IC photo, passport photo, right? If you are using picture from your college days or pictures that cannot see your face, all of these please remove. Okay, please take a professional picture. You can either get it professionally shot, right? Or if you want to save a bit money on that, what you can do is find a plain background, dress up professionally, and then just take a photo. Make sure it is updated, right? Don't use a photo from 10 years ago. That will not be the best representation of you right now. Okay, so simple, but yet a lot of people still don't update it, especially when people use their IC and passport photo. That is the one that really irks me. This is not your IC, okay? So please use a professional photo. Okay, the second thing you want to look at is your headline. So the headline, if you're not familiar what that means, is basically the text that is below your name. Okay, and this describes what you do. Something you want to take note about your headline is you want to avoid fancy keywords. Keywords like this. I don't know you have seen this on LinkedIn before, but I've seen it like Chief Everything Officer, Evangelist, Sales Ninja. Okay, now this sounds really cool, right? I mean, this whole ninja evangelist things, you know, really fancy and all. But it's not something that works very well on LinkedIn, especially on the back end side, right? Why? Because, you know, in the algorithm, they don't have keywords like this. So if a recruiter is searching for their next head of sales, right? Your profile may not pop up, or maybe it will pop up, but more towards the end. Because ninja is not a word that a recruiter would use, right? Or evangelist. This is not something that recruiters will search for. So it is not very SEO friendly. Instead, you want to use keywords like this, right? Common keywords such as community management and HR and human resource, digital marketer, head of sales. Use keywords that you know, recruiters will actually use, right? So not really fancy words like this where it will just look nice and fun on your profile, but will it do any real benefit? Not really. Okay. Another thing about your profile is you don't ignore your summary, right? The summary is basically a short description of you that comes below your headline. Some people, they either write really short summaries, or they don't write any summary at all. That is the one that really blows my mind, because they think that, oh, nobody is going to read this part lah. I think people normally skip it. Well, guess what? If you don't care about your summary, your audience also won't care, because you don't care about it first. Okay, so if you want people to care about you, if you want people to take interest in you, you want people to find out more about you, write something interesting here, right? Tell people about yourself in a really unique and memorable manner, right? Talk about your passion, talk about what makes you special, what makes you unique, why should people work with you, right? If you have if you want to highlight some of your accomplishment and credibility, you can do so in your summary as well, just like the iTrain badges, right? If some of you already have the iTrain badge, you can already mention it here as well. Okay, I mean, take the opportunity to highlight some of the certifications and achievements that you have. So really don't ignore your summary. This is actually very important when people want to find out more about you. Okay, when writing summary, you really want to avoid writing confusing summaries like this. I'm just going to take a moment to read this summary because I will read it out. You know, it says, this human was born to source for links between individuals and or organization via the inevitable daily act of communicating. The gift of the gap also comes with supercharged batteries in the enthusiasm and teamwork department. Other features include strong levels in the following aspects: copywriting, proofreading, social media leadership, customer service, language, humor, pop culture, and design sense. So after reading this summary, can you tell me what does this person work as? Anyone wants to guess? Let me know in the chat section. Human? Is that even a profession, Sami? Others want to give it a try. What do you think is the profession of this person? This is a real summary. I didn't make this up. I don't think I would be able to make this up too. It's pretty confusing. Everything social media marketer or creative director, pretty close. Okay, well, this person is actually a copywriter, right? That is why you see these really fancy words and phrases and flowery statements and all. I mean, this person is a copywriter, so I guess, you know, yeah, she or he is doing a pretty good, not really good job. I guess the message is still not clear. But basically what I'm trying to say is you want to avoid very confusing summaries like this. After people read your summary, they still don't know what you do, means it's not a good summary. Okay, so instead, when you write a summary, you need to have a focus. The more focused your message is, the easier it is for people to remember who you are. So before you start writing your summary, ask yourself, what is the one key takeaway that you want your reader to know about you after they finish read your summary? That will help you to, this will be a good guide for you to kickstart on writing your summary. Okay. All right, that is strategy number 2. Let's jump into strategy number 3. How you want to start your personal brand on LinkedIn is to create content consistently. Now you see I highlight the word consistently very big because consistency is the key to success when it comes to content creation, right? If you put up one content a month, well, your personal brand is not going to go very far. Okay, you want to start on a weekly posting. A weekly posting is always good. If you don't really have much time, start off with one posting a week. That was how I started, right? I started with just one posting a week. Now I do about 2 to 4 posting weekly. But again, if you don't have much time, if you just want to get started, one posting a week is a great start. Most importantly is post every week and on a consistent basis, right? It is only through consistency that you will see some sort of growth in your personal brand. All right, just a couple of tips when posting content. You really want to avoid long paragraphs, right? If you see content like this, most of the time people will just skip it because it is so hard to read, right? on social media, remember LinkedIn is still a social media platform. People are still scrolling through it very fast. So you want to make sure that you write it in something like this instead, right? Make sure to break your paragraphs into many different sentences. In one paragraph, try to keep it just to 2 to 3 lines. Anything more than that, it becomes a bit hard to read, hard to digest. Digestible is the word that we use in social media marketing, right? It's hard to consume. So you want to make sure, break down your paragraph to something like this, make it easy to consume. Because if you write all your content like this, no matter how good it is, people will just skip it. No point, right? So make sure your content is digestible. Ask questions. Ask questions in your content. Remember that the key to success when it comes to content creation, number 1 is consistency. Number 2 is engagement. Okay, you want to make sure that people are commenting and interacting with you. That is how you can get more views on your posting. So there's one of the simplest way that you can go about this is to ask questions, right? Simple questions like agree, yes or no. That could be a good start. Or if you want to go more specific questions, you can as well. Like this is a screenshot of my post, by the way. So the second post, I actually asked a very specific question, which is, what is one skill you plan to develop this week? Drop a comment below. Very specific question that is super easy to answer, right? And that is something that you can do. Okay, so that is strategy number 3. Strategy number 4, grow your LinkedIn tribe. Now, remember, when you build a personal brand on LinkedIn, you are not just building it for yourself. You're building it for people. So it's very important that you expand your network. Okay, don't just connect with your boss and colleagues. I know that is the easy way out, right? But really try to expand your connection and think, who else can I connect with? Who belongs to my tribe? Well, if you're running a business, look for potential clients, or if you're looking to get a job on, connect to recruiters or potential managers, people who share similar interests with you, right? If you work in if you have similar interests, whether in terms of career or personal interests, you can connect. People have similar background when it comes to, people who are working in the same industry as you, you can connect with them. Or people who share similar professional goals, right? You want to make sure that, these kind of people have some sort of touch point with you. Otherwise, I do not recommend that you connect with everyone and anyone, as this will dilute your profile and dilute your engagement. Okay, try to connect with people who meet one of these boxes. Okay, last but not least, strategy number 5 on how you can build a successful personal brand is to be you. Okay, you have to be genuine. As you build your brand, remember it's called personal brand for a reason. It's a brand about you. So do not copy someone, right? Don't fake it till you make it. That's a term that that's a phrase that I really dislike, because you're just trying to be someone else and trying to reach there. But no, when it comes to building a personal brand, you have to have your own brand, your own personality, your own vision, your own value, your own goals, right? Really give a good thought about who you want to be and what you want to become, and then stick to it. Be yourself. Okay? So there you go. 5 strategies on how to start your personal brand on LinkedIn. Did anyone learn something new today? Could you let me know in the chat section right now? Yes, Aini says yes. How about the rest? Did you learn something useful? Geeta says yes. Okay. Great, thank you so much. I hope that you picked up something useful. Remember that when you choose to maximize your personal brand on LinkedIn, you won't have to always look for your next opportunity. Instead, your next opportunity will look for you. How many of you want your next opportunity to look for you? Right? Instead of you having to hunt for your next job or hunt for your next promotion or hunt for your next client, how many of you would like it to come to you instead? Okay, now if that is you, you have 2 options after today's session. Number 1, you can do it yourself. You can choose to build your own brand based on everything that I have shared here today. You can do it yourself, no problem. Or the second option is you can learn from my team and let us build your personal brand together. So work with a bunch of experts to help you get started on your personal branding journey. Is there anyone here that would like to hear more about our program? our personal branding program. If you are interested, could you just type in yes in the chat section so I would know whether to proceed or not? Okay, Sammy says yes. Kenny? All right. Isaac says yes as well. Great. So this is the LinkedIn Personal Branding Masterclass. Elizabeth has shared about it earlier, but I'm going to share more details about this workshop as well. So this workshop is happening next year. Okay, so not this year. I know this year is already December and everybody's on holiday mood after this. So it's going to start next January to February, right? From 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. We put it at night so that everyone can make it. All the working adults can make it. Yes, this is a program that is designed to help beginners like yourself to kickstart your personal branding journey on LinkedIn. What are we going to learn in this class? Well, there are 4 sessions. Session 1, defining your personal brand. Okay, so in this session, we're going to talk about how to create a story of you. Because we know to create a brand from scratch can be very challenging, especially if you are new to all this whole marketing and branding, right? A lot of you may struggle to tell your story. Earlier, I said find your unique edge, but do you know how to find your unique edge, right? So if you don't know how to find your edge, join us in this session where we can deep dive and understand more about you. Because at the end of the day, if we want to build a brand for you, we really need a session dedicated to understanding you. And that is exactly what we will do in session 1, right? Creating a personal brand of you. Session 2 will be on LinkedIn profile. So we're going to learn on how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile for success. Remember what I said earlier, your profile is your first impression, right? When people land on your profile, what are they going to think about you? What kind of actions you want them to take? These are things that we are going to run through in this second session. It's a step-by-step framework that we have developed in order for you to update and optimize your LinkedIn profile. So for those of you who feel really lost in what to do with your profile, where to start, what should I say? Well, we have a course dedicated for you in this second session. Okay? Third session is about content creation. Remember what I mentioned about being consistent when it comes to content creation? Well, consistency seems to be the biggest issue that most of our students face. And that is because they always tell me, Laura, I got no idea. I don't know what to write. I have no more content ideas. Well, this is something that we know that most content creators, when they start, they face this kind of challenge. That is why in session number 3, we are going to work to build 2 months worth of content together with you, right? So we have a content idea framework that we have designed that is proven and tested, which we can guarantee by the end of the 3rd session, you will have so many content ideas, and these are not random ideas, or these are strategic ideas that can help you to develop your brand. All right. Session number 4 is where we're going to talk about growing your LinkedIn tribe. Remember what I said, when you build a brand, it is not for yourself. That is called shock sendiri. You don't just build a brand for yourself to see, right? You build it for people. Okay. And this is a community that you have to develop. So how do you build a community that is not just growing in numbers, but also growing in terms of impact, right? How do you get a community to advocate for you, to engage with you? That is what we will discuss in session number 4. So you can see it's a very well-planned journey that will help you cover different aspects of personal branding and LinkedIn. So you will make sure to have a very good foundation when you kickstart your personal branding journey. Okay, on top of these 4 sessions, something that you will be getting when you join us is, number 1, you will be trained not by just one coach. I mean, I will be the main coach, right? But on top of that, you will also be getting a second coach, and his name is Tyler. Tyler, are you here? Would you like to give a short intro about yourself?
Right here. So yeah, just a quick intro. In my previous life, before I was a career coaching and a personal branding coaching consultant with our Stories Lab, I was actually a recruiter. So within 2 years, I made the way from intern to strategy and development manager for a recruitment agency. And I'm also on the board of the Recruiters Association in Malaysia to advise them on matters of hiring for personality in regards to that. And to date, I've maintained 100% retention rate because I understand personality pretty well. So excited to be on this journey with you guys.
Yes, so if you can see, we actually put a combination of the reason why we have a combination of two coach is so we can give different perspective to our students, right? For those of you who are running a business or perhaps you're on a managerial position, I can give you my expertise on how you can use your LinkedIn as a lead generation tool or as a marketing and sales channel for your business. Whereas for Tyler, he comes from a recruitment background, plus he is a career coach now. And he himself has built a very successful personal brand for himself on LinkedIn. So he can share with you those who are seeking for job, those who are seeking for promotion within your current position. Tyler has that kind of expertise to share with you. Okay, so really, this combination is great for those who want to kickstart your personal branding journey. You get two kind of perspective. Okay, the second thing is you'll be getting exclusive access to our private Facebook group. So throughout the 1 month that you are with us, you will actually have assignments that you'll be working on. And the thing is, you will not be working on this alone. The beauty about doing this group coaching together is you have a community, right? You have people who will go through this journey together with you, people whom you can exchange idea with, right? And you will also be getting a lot of feedback from us, right? Us as a coach, we are not just going to be training you, we are also going to be giving you feedback on your assignment. Look at the kind of feedback that Tyler gave. It's an essay, but that's because we are very serious about your growth. We're very serious about it. We're not just here to give you a theory and that's it. We're here to give you practical advice and here to guide you to your success. Okay, so that is the second thing. The third thing that you will be getting is access to proven personal branding frameworks. Now, what is the great thing about this course is that it is designed and equipped with a lot of templates and frameworks to speed up your personal branding journey. Okay, of course, you can always do this on your own, right? But if you want to make sure you get started on the right track and that you don't waste too much time making mistakes on your personal brand, I really highly encourage that you join us, because here we have design frameworks that we have tried and tested on ourselves and on our students, and we have seen it working for them. And it can work for them, it can work for you as well. Okay, so just to sum up, what you will be getting when you join us for this 1 month masterclass is, number one, 4 weeks of training. Okay, number two, guide to a solid personal branding strategy. Number three, an optimized LinkedIn profile. Number four, 2 months of content. Number five, a LinkedIn tribe. Number six, training by 2 experienced coaches. Number seven, access to our private Facebook group. And number 8, proven personal branding frameworks. Now, all of this comes to a value of 4,500. But because you guys have stayed till the very end, and some of you here have expressed your interest to be part of our course, we are releasing a special price today for the first 15 that sign up with us. You are only investing 1,500 to kickstart your personal branding journey with us. So really, it's a very valuable course that is packed with tons of knowledge and tons of value, and we strongly believe that once you complete this course, you would have a much better clarity on your personal brand and how is it, and have a better strategy to grow it on LinkedIn. Okay, this is a course that is done many times already. You can see feedback from one of our students, Chloe, right? She attended our LinkedIn personal branding masterclass, learned a lot of things. And the best part is because she revamped her profile, she actually managed to attract a few workshop and speaking gigs for herself. So she's actually a drama teacher in an international school. And even though she's just a corporate employee, but she knew the importance of personal branding. And because of that, she managed to attract workshop and speaking gig opportunity after completing our course. We also had a doctor, Dr. Aisha. She joined our course, right? Because she struggled to tell her story online. You know, she's actually doing a lot of things besides being a doctor. She runs her own business. So she really struggled on how to properly brand herself on LinkedIn. And after she attended our course, she says that Laura is a legit storyteller, or what we call in Malay is penglipo Lara. And she said, Laura has the magic ability to stream through my words and change it into a more fun story to read or listen. Okay, so if storytelling is a challenge that you face, again, we highly encourage that you join our course so that you can get a better clarity on what your story is and what your personal branding strategy is going to be like. Okay, we also have a video from Megan, right? another one of our student who is a freelancer and has joined our course. So let's hear what she has to say.
I didn't know how to embrace the power of LinkedIn until 1 month ago. Hi, my name is Megan and I'm a freelance copywriter. So basically I started my LinkedIn journey like when I was in university, but I never know how to navigate the algorithms, the features, and how to really optimize LinkedIn as a way to enhance my career. So 1 month ago, I discovered a free webinar hosted by a connection of mine, Laura Wong. I started realizing that, oh, these are the tricks that actually on how you get posts on LinkedIn. So one of them is planning your content calendar and how you actually plan it. Second is actually how do you make connections, and it's like commenting and liking people, and also like how you reach out to people that you always want to connect. At the same time, there's also like a personalized 30-minute coaching session with either Laura herself or Tyler, which is another coordinator. And ever since that LinkedIn personal branding course, I started making more new connections, and also I get people adding me as well. And I also learned how to write my page better that represents me as a brand. So if you want to know more tricks, if you want to know more about the program, do DM me, and I'm free to share with you my insights, my learnings, and we can go further than that. Thank you.
All right, so that is Megan's story. Let me quickly go back to my screen. Okay, so there you go. The LinkedIn Personal Branding Masterclass, again, happening next year, next January, right? From 20th January up to 10th February, happening on 7:30 p.m. up to 9:30 p.m. And yes, if you want to sign up, I believe Elizabeth has dropped the link in the chat section. If not, maybe she can drop it again, right? So all you need to do is click on the link, right, that Elizabeth has sent to you. Make a payment of 1,500 plus the processing fee, okay? And then once you are done, just take a screenshot and send the proof of payment to info@itrain.com.my. Remember, this special price is only for the first 15. So if this is something that you are really serious about, that you want to make sure that you start off 2021 with a solid personal brand, I highly encourage that you grab this opportunity now, because this is not something that we do very often, right? So we actually also have a special group promo. So if some of you here, you have friends whom you want to join the course with, or perhaps colleagues, right? We have a special promo of buy 3 get 1 free at the price of 4,500 only. So if you sign up as a group, right, you actually save 1,000 ringgit, 275. So again, if this is something that you feel that, oh, I can do this together with my friends or colleagues, well, then sign up together, because this is the special price that you are able to save. Okay, so again, the process is very simple. Just head on to the same link, right? And when you check out, select the group option instead to book your spot. Okay, do we have any questions about the program so far? Maybe let me just quickly see in the chat. Okay, what if I wish to learn earlier? Can I get something like a personal coaching prior to the class? Currently with iTrain, Kenny, we are offering only a group session. So if you want to join us, we highly encourage that you join the group first. Also, when you join group, what we realize is the impact is more impactful, simply because there is a community that is doing this together with you, right? As you go through your journey, when you do one-to-one coaching, it can tend to feel very lonely, right? And sometimes the growth is a bit slower. So Kenny, if you really want to join, we highly encourage you join the group 1 instead. There you can really push yourself and grow together with your community. Okay, hope to see you in the group coaching, Kenny. Other than that, other questions from the floor here. You have any questions about the course itself? You want to clarify some things? Happy to answer any of your doubts.
Yeah, thank you, Laura, for giving the presentation. It was very insightful and truly useful. I must speak on behalf of everybody that it was an insightful presentation that you gave. So thank you very much on that. And well, there were the few questions that were sent in before. So just some of whom you already answered. So I'm going to try not to repeat. But one question that stood out is, do you connect your company brand and personal brand together on LinkedIn?
Right. So if that is you are a corporate employee, or I believe this question come from a corporate employee who is probably working with a company, and maybe you find a struggle to have a brand of your own. What I would say is you want to draw a Venn diagram, right? Try to find a middle ground between your company brand and your personal brand. I do not encourage that you, when you start building your brand, you just talk about your company alone, because that does not give you a personality of yourself, right? That does not make you unique. So what you want to do is talk about your company, that's totally fine, but find a way to insert your personality, find a way to insert your values, find a way to insert your mission and vision, right? So that you form a brand of yourself. At the end of the day, a personal brand belongs to you. It doesn't belong to your company. When you work with your company, what the company is doing is they are borrowing your brand, right? For temporary, while you're working with them, that is your brand. But once you leave, you want to make sure you have also something of your own, so that people don't only remember you as, let's say, Aini from Petronas, something like that. You want to have a brand of your own, that, oh yes, Aini, she's very good in sales. Yeah, I know she works in Petronas, but she's a really capable individual who is really good in selling. So you want that kind of impression at the end of the day, not just, oh, that's Ivy from Petronas. Okay, that's just an example. I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure who asked that actually.
Thank you. Yes, and also one more question. Is it professional to share hobbies on LinkedIn?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that question.
Yeah, is it professional to share hobbies on LinkedIn?
Yes. So it is fine to share a little bit of your personal life on LinkedIn. Just try not to get too personal, because remember, at the end of the day, LinkedIn is still a social media platform, right? So you don't want to get too personal. But if you want to talk about your hobbies, it's totally fine. I've seen people talking about hobbies, about their families, about their views on personal things, right? So you can do that. Just remember, at the end of the day, this is still a social media, and you want to keep your professionalism. Okay?
Yes, great, thank you. And I think the rest of the questions were more or less answered. So I can, maybe there's a few questions that are coming in the chat that people want to ask. Otherwise, we would be ending shortly.
Okay.
Let's give a few more
final questions from the floor? Any questions about LinkedIn or the program itself? We are here to answer before we officially wrap up the session.
Hey, Laura, can you hear me?
Hi, Rafsan. Did I say your name correctly?
You got it right. You got it right. Perfect. I just had a super quick question for LinkedIn. How many times a week should one post on LinkedIn? Like, I know you mentioned to do it at least once a week, but is there like a magic number before it starts to get annoying for others within your network?
That's a very common question that I got actually. Is there an optimal number, right, for you to post in the week? My question comes back to you, right? Do you have the time? Do you have the resources? Okay. Why I ask this question is because at the end of the day, in order for you to be very successful in content creation, is that you need to have two criteria. Number one, your content needs to have value, right? It should be adding value to the community or to the audience. And number two, it needs to be consistent. So you cannot post up one good content this week, and then next week is not very good content, and then the following week, no content. That is not successful. Okay, so that is why I asked you the question earlier, Rasan. Do you have time? Do you have resources? If you say you have time, the next question is, are you good at writing? Are you good at content creation, right? Do you have the resources to actually craft something that is great, right? If you don't, then start off with something that is very doable, which is once a week, right? That is something that we always encourage our students to start off with. Just once a week, focus on making that content super valuable and consistent, right? Once you have these two criteria as you create content, this is how you would be able to be successful in your content creation journey. So to answer your question, no, there's no optimal number. Actually, a lot of people write articles about this, but no, there is no optimal number.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Hello, Laura. I have a question if there is enough time.
Yes.
Which is better, to post directly into LinkedIn or to share your own content from elsewhere? Let's say you write on a blog or in your own other platform. Right. Is it also considered as part of that consistent content, or or it has to be something that you write directly into the platform?
Based on my experience on LinkedIn, as a start, you want to start by posting directly on LinkedIn. Why? Because LinkedIn likes to push out content that is coming from its own platform. That is basically how most social media channels work. They don't like you to leave the platform, right? So when you write articles on your own blog, which is on your own website, and you share it on LinkedIn, what you're basically telling LinkedIn is, hey, I want to bring your audience out of the platform. And usually, social media platforms, they don't like that. You can still do that when you get more popular, right? When you start to get more following, when you start to see a very high engagement, then start sharing things outside of LinkedIn. It's fine already at that point, because you know that at that point when your engagement rate is stable, once you share something that is outside of LinkedIn, it's still safe. People will still engage. Otherwise, if you do it at the start, I noticed that some people start building their brand, they only keep resharing articles from external sources. They don't get much engagement on their content, right? Especially at the start. So if you are just starting out, Sammy, I would highly recommend you start posting within the platform first.
Thank you.
Hey, no worries. Okay. Are the tools, Elsa asked, are the tools you train on free or paid services? Are you referring to the framework that I mentioned about in the package, Elsa? Yes. Okay, so these are tools that we design on our own, frameworks that Tyler and I have designed our own. So yes, it is included in the price. The 1,005 package, it is included. So you do not have to pay anything on top of that. All right. So Joshua asked, how can we send a professional connection note that doesn't sound so formal and can remain friendly and approachable? Joshua, this is actually something we teach in our course. It's quite hard for us to answer in just 1 minute because there are different factors we need to consider as we craft a professional note. So if this is something that you are really struggling with and you want to address it, highly encourage that you join our course. It's something we teach in session 4, how to craft a personalized note. We also talk about what are ways that you should avoid when it comes to sending personalized notes, right? Because we had really bad experience of people trying to spam us with their connection messages. So these are things that we share again in our course. And if you really, really want to learn and make sure you don't send a wrong note as well, please join our course. Elsa asked, what if I am not good at content writing? It's okay, Elsa. I mean, everyone starts from somewhere. Actually, for me, I'm not a good writer. When I first started, right, I'm not a natural writer, right? English is my first language, but when it comes to writing, my writing is actually not that good. But writing comes with practice, Elsa. This is what I realized. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And the more you will find your writing style. So practice and consistency is something that we teach in our course, especially in session 3, when we talk about building content calendar. We will make you practice a lot, don't worry. So you will see some improvement in your content after attending our course.
Okay, thank you very much, Laura.